Manchester United recently have become safe from relegation.
Good for them.
It is April 20th when that was released, April 19th. A little late in the season to be told you're sort of safe from relegation, but we know the struggles they've had this year, bringing in Amorim, and it hasn't gone smoothly. But there's these little hopes, these little things that are happening that give you some hope. In particular, they have a pretty good run so far in Europa. They're in the semifinals against Athletic Club Bilbao. They are kind of slated to be in the final at the very least, potentially against Tottenham.
Sure.
Do you think that these little bits of just like hope, these little things that are happening are giving you some hope, especially the match against Lyon, are giving you hope if you are a Manchester United fan that maybe next season will be better off, that Amorim was the right choice?
I guess I think if you're a rational United fan, the answer should be no.
Okay.
That these little moments of like, of positivity and glimmer, because they shouldn't be down to Lyon when they're up a man and give up 2 goals and then need 3 goals scored in 8 minutes to win a game. Right. Yes, it makes for lovely television and it's a great story, but why are you in that position at all?
Right.
So,
but let's say this wasn't Manchester United. You remove that, that badge. We're talking about a scrappy team that's now playing a bunch above their weight.
Everton having this season and having these moments, parades. I'm like, this is we have a parade for getting to the semifinal. Right. This is an amazing story.
You have a parade for being able to plan a parade. But I think what you're talking about is a team that normally you would have say, even if we were down a man, the footballing world, the universe is against us. So to even be able to battle that, even being up a man, even being able to win a big match is a huge deal. It's Manchester United. They should be a man down and be the team winning. You know what I mean? Coming back to win from behind.
Right.
That's the allure, the aura around this team. And we've gotten to the point where that aura doesn't really exist anymore. So are these little glimmers of hope? Is Amorim the right guy to carry you forward if you are a Manchester United fan, or if you're Manchester United's front office? I think there's some signs that potentially, I still think he needs to be able to get his own players. So I don't know how much money there is. There's so much that needs to be done. There's not enough people to fire if you're just Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I don't know where the money's going to come from, but you have to back this guy, right? You didn't pay $10 million to free him from his sporting club contract, to not at least give him an entire offseason, an entire transfer window.
He's not in any situation where he's like at risk to be sacked or anything.
Yeah, but the question becomes like, can you confidently back someone? Are you willing to say, I'm going to let you decide what happens with this 200 million pounds? It's tough.
Yeah, it is tough, and but that is the job. That's the job for the board. That's the job for Ratcliffe. That's the job that Amorim is hired to do.
We're talking about the same board that is feeding their staff like scraps from the sweets.
Okay, the players are kicking off their crumbs on the table and then giving that to them,
and the staff is underneath holding their hands out. It's some real Oliver twist. So Jim Ratcliffe might have some more.
So this puts them in I was obsessively watching all the reactions to the Lyon game, watching Flex, watching all the Manchester United streamers.
It reminded me of the 7-5 Arsenal versus Reading. This is a match that you'll be talking about forever,
right? And the moment the penalty is scored by Lacazette in extra time, and the complete deflated. Just, it was already difficult, and
how much emotions do you have left to give this season?
And then the goal, the tying goal from Harry Maguire scored the game-winning goal. He's like basically playing striker, and when you look at, I forgot if look at the score sheet of all the players that scored, and it was none of the attacking three from Manchester United. Yeah. Højlund is just, we talk about money. They spent 75 million on him, and what'd you get? What'd you get? Yeah, but
also he'd only scored 9 goals at Atalanta. I don't know why you pay that much for that guy.
It's surreal.
You're like, this will be our Erling
but
Haaland.
Nobody seems to be stepping up. There isn't anybody they can just send the ball up forward to, and they feel like sort of confident about.
What was it? I think it was Harry Redknapp said on a podcast a long time ago. He's like, I'd put Harry Maguire in as striker. He's a big lad. You
Yeah.
can literally send balls at his forehead
But
all day.
this was truly one of the greatest matches I think a lot of people have ever seen.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
also at Old Trafford, there were so many people after the game, like man on the street, they were like, "That's the greatest match of football I have ever seen in my life." But what did it take for you to say that? It took the absolute, like, you were in the mud. You were just completely broken. You're like, after Lacazette scores that, we're done. We're having a absolute Premier League season.
Lacazette, a player whose Premier League career was over 5 years ago.
And then, he makes his penalty, and it's really, they have nothing left. And then, there's a penalty called. Casemiro was the man of the match for that extra time because he got the 2 assists. And it's why does it need, that's all I'm saying. Why does it need to get to that? Why can't you just be like, we beat them 4-0, and that was the greatest match of football I've ever seen. We just
because it's Manchester United and it's 2025.
And then so that's what you're looking for, any little piece of anything to cling some hope to. They who are they playing? They're playing Bilbao in the semifinal. You're not, Bilbao's like actually pretty good.
You're gonna get cooked.
You're gonna get cooked.
Away, you're gonna get cooked.
It's no joke playing over there. So look, as I was watching the game, I'm like, all right, this is entertaining. I cannot believe they made this comeback. But the fact that this is what it came to, I don't look. And then in the Premier League, they end up losing 1-0 to Wolves off an amazing free kick and stuff like that. But but they played 120 minutes. In the Europa League game,
Wolves under Vitor Pereira is no joke.
Sure. But you would expect a second, even not a reserve team of Manchester United player, but the bench should be good enough to at least draw Wolves.
Manchester United.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, again, maybe we're stuck in the past, and our expectations are not even realistic.
I don't even know if it's that we're stuck in the past. I just think it's so wild that even this long into a season where it's pretty much over, where we're still saying, like, can Manchester United really be this bad? It's the aura. We're used to Fergie time. We're used to players, the team gets extra time. As soon as some random, regen walks in, you're like, oh, now this guy, I don't know where this guy's going to score against you. And that's generally what happens because there was the aura of they were unbeatable. Even until the final whistle, you didn't believe you beat them.
Yeah.
This team is the exact opposite. For them to have a moment where they sort of harken back to that, where they felt that way against the Lyon team, which you should be beating.
Yeah.
But for a team for this team to be able to go back to that and feel like that little bit of the past is still with them must feel really good if you're a Manchester United fan. Which is why I think maybe these little glimpses are giving you hope for the future. And I hope a coach like Amorim gets more time because the idea of like, you need to step right in and be a superstar right away and everything go right when this wasn't the team of your choosing is impossible. And you started to see the fans kind of turn against them a little bit. Yeah. So I hope that this gives them time. Same thing was happening to Arteta. And now you can see what's happening with Arteta. And I think people are really trustful of the plan. Yeah. Hopefully they do that with Amorim.
Maybe. I think he gets more time. I'm not optimistic. I still think we see the same team next season. I don't think it's going to change that much. He's going to bring in a couple players.
That depends on the offseason they have.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm not expecting too much different. A lot has to be done for that club.